Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an SU-130PM. It's a Tier 8 Soviet premium tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Malinovka, and this one is under the command of BertholomaeusRexodus44x2 of the TLG clan. Okay, he's decided to go behind the buildings right at the start of the game. Quite a usual firing position. If one of the tanks actually does go out and do a bit of spotting, then you might get some early shots. The AMX-1390's gone off to the hill, but I don't think he's got any of the enemy tanks in range to actually see them. And that's why we're not getting anything to shoot at. Ah, Conway. No, he anticipated that the Conway would actually move across the gap. It didn't. He actually went behind the earth. You can see there. It's a hill. It's actually a fold in the ground. It looks like he's trying to make out to move across the gap. Okay, these are 13 centimeter main shells. They're capable of doing 520 alpha, 243mm pen. Oh, he does get a hit on the Wizzy 113 GFT. They've got 243mm pen with standard ammo. With the heat rounds, that goes up to 320. And they've got considerable velocity. This vehicle is basically the Soviet version of a Scorpion. Based on the SU-130PM. As you can see, it's an extremely accurate gun. And it's got a very high alpha. The standard reload, 13.04 seconds. He's got 11.28. He's trying to get a shot. Although the shells are very fast, so they do hit their target very quickly, that one, I think he pulled that shot up over the top of the Conway. That's why it didn't hit. Now, you don't get a whole lot of ammunition. You only get 30 rounds in total, so you have to make the best use of them. And you need to be careful, because if you don't use it discreetly, I should say, you might actually end up running out of ammo when you need it. Well, it looks he came up there that the ELC-790 got a shot into that Wizzy. Nope, couldn't get a shot there to connect. Now, the one thing that you do also need to remember about this tank destroyer is it's got very low armor. Very low. 20mm at the front of the hull, 15 on the gun shield, basically. 15 on the sides and 6 on the rear. So basically, any Arty hitting this vehicle will, well, basically get a penetration shot straight away. So really, it's actually quite vulnerable. It's also got a bit of a problem with its gun arc. It's only got 156 degrees gun arc, so it can't see everything, or can't shoot at everything that's directly ahead of you. It can only shoot to 77.5 degrees either side of the center line. If the enemy gets behind you, you have to turn the vehicle, otherwise you won't be able to get a shot. And in fact, the vehicle doesn't traverse very quickly. In fact, fairly slow by comparison. It's 35.67 seconds on hard ground, 28 degrees on medium ground, and 14.27 degrees on soft ground. So you can see, trying to turn this vehicle around on the wrong ground, you can literally be shredded by the enemy, because they'll just keep pumping rounds into you whilst you're trying to turn to face them, or at least to get the gun to look at them. 60 TP doesn't want to come out from behind the rock. And oh, Centurion 1 up there. It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. Oh, yeah, we can definitely take that guy on. Yep, nice shot into the T-69. He did get spotted, so there is an enemy that's close enough to actually see him. Probably the Shure MV7X or the ELC-790, who are actually on the rise at F7. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the enemy is actually sitting in the bush, and I think he's lining up a shot on that bush because he thinks there's somebody up there. I think that's very likely. Yep, I was right. The ELC was up there. He did get spotted when he fired, but he pulled back in time to avoid getting shot at. Now, luckily for BertholomaeusRexodus, there's no Arty in this game, so otherwise he would be a primary target. Okay, the ELC is still there. The Shah's actually pulled back. In fact, there he is. And you tracked him there, and you tracked him long enough that somebody else managed to get a kill shot. In fact, it was the charioteer that got a hit, and he did that from just behind us, actually. He's not too far away. TVP trying to come down the side there. This position is one of those positions where it's very likely... I tried a blind one there. It's one of those positions where it's very likely that the enemy RT would actually try to splash an SU-130PM, because even if you were just behind this building, you probably would take some damage because you'd just be outside or just inside the blast radius, which is normally about 10 meters. On a tier 10 game, you could be looking at about 15 meters or 12 meters blast radius. Oh, he got him. He wiped out the ELC M90. And that means now they don't have any light tanks over that side of the battlefield. In fact, I don't think they have any light tanks at all now. No, they haven't. And the good news there means that they could move up, because our platoon mate in the ELC M90, Vervol, is that Vervol? Vervol. Yes, he's actually now up the other end of the field, and he just took a big hit from one of the enemy tanks. And unfortunately, he's just gone down. So he got taken out. He got spotted, and I think that might have been the TVP. Yes, the TVP VTU was the one who killed him in the end. Okay, that guy's actually behind the ground there. He's just the other side of the hill. Coming out. That hit the ground just a short distance away from him. It was confusing because you could see the bush and you thought that that would actually show the vehicle, but no, it didn't. Now, remember what I said about running short on ammo? Well, I'm afraid that's happening at this moment. Only 8 rounds left, and they're all heat rounds. So each shot is expensive. No, that one went into the ground. He needs to be careful, because look at the score at the moment. They're 2 down. And there's 7 enemy vehicles out there. He's only got 7 shells. He can't destroy the enemy completely. They've got 6,805 hit points. Well, it's gone down now. 4,855. That's better. That's a high roll for 525. And now we've got the TVP come down this side. So now he does have to move. And he needs to get into a position where he's not going to get spotted by that TVP. Now, he could do that by going into the bushes here. And wait for the TVP to come out from behind. And then hit him hard. If he gets shot at, more than likely the round's going to go straight through. Now he's got to try and work out exactly where to put the aim. Okay, there you go. Yes, good shot. Got the kill. The charioteer got the big shot in. He took the hit points away, but it was BertholomaeusRexodus who actually got the kill shot. He only got 16 hit points for it, but that was a good one. He timed that one perfectly. Line the shot up and then wait until you're absolutely ready, and then you go. Okay, the enemy has come down from the hill. They've still got 3,580 hit points of damage, or of health, and we've only got 5 shells. And that's what, 2.5k of damage. So we don't have enough damage in our shells to actually win the game, and now it's just got worse because we've just lost a Super Conqueror up on the hill. So we need the 3 tanks that are still alive on our team, the Striv, the Charioteer, and this SU-130PM to work together Otherwise, the enemy are going to win. Now, they've got the numbers advantage, which means they'll probably try to assault. Here comes the TVPT VTU. Yep, good hit. Doesn't kill him, but it does actually reduce him to a one-shot. Now, I like the way he's hanging back here because he can pop into that little alcove if he needs to, just like that. Don't try a blind shot through the bushes because more than likely you won't have it right, but you could go into the bushes. I think he might be trying to do that. If he can get inside the bush, the TVP might shoot behind the building and he won't be here. Mind you, he might hit the Charioteer. And the Charioteer is now facing the SU-130 GFT. We've got the Shrek! Oh, the Shrek goes to the strip. So it's 4 versus 3 now. Or 3 versus 4, I should say. TVP's still there, and he's getting closer to the strip. We don't know the whereabouts of the 60TP or the XM66F. We have to assume that they're looking down on what's going on within view range, but outside our view range at the moment. The Charioteer can't see the SU-130 GFT, but I kind of get the feeling the TVP VTU rubber is actually trying to get spots on what BertholomaeusRexodus is doing to see if he does exactly the same as he did to that TVP T5051. He popped up, didn't see us, no sixth sense. He's testing the water. He's acting as the light tank in this game. He has to because they lost all the other ones, rather unfortunately. Yeah, they picked 2 obvious spots, and BertholomaeusRexodus took out the ELC very nicely, actually. He did exactly the right thing. Now, he might get a kill. No, he didn't shoot. He held back. That was good. TVP's testing the water. He knows he's got the strip in front of him. If he can't see the strip, if he tries to push on the strip, he'll more than likely go down. But I think he's going to try again. He knows the strip has got a fairly long reload time as well. If he tries to come up on our side after the strip's fired, then it will be down to BertholomaeusRexodus. Yeah, he keeps testing the water. Oh, the strip got him. He tested it too long, too many times, and he failed. Okay, now, the other enemy tanks. Well, I would not be surprised if one of them was in the woods to our right. Possibly the XM66F. The 60TP might have cast across the top of the hill and joined him. We know the SU-130 GFT is definitely on the corner behind us. It's 3 versus 3. And there's one of them. It's the 60TP. He did join the XM. And he's out the game. And that was a brilliant shot. That changes everything. Because now the team, the defending team, has got the advantage. Into the last minute. This one's going to go down to the wire. Here comes the XM. And a nice hit. And the Striv gets the kill. And he doesn't mind that because now they can go and kill the Wizzy. It doesn't matter. There's nothing he can do. And hello, Mr. Wizzy. Goodbye. Brilliant game. Excellently played. That was tactical. That was an absolutely brilliant game played by BertholomaeusRexodus 44x2 of the TLG clan in the SU-130PM. He got an ace tanker out of it, and he certainly deserved it. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 exactly. He actually gave up a kill to one of his teammates, the Striv, because he put the damage in on that XM at the end, and the Striv just claimed the kill, just as he did the same to the Charioteer, where the Charioteer got the big shot in to pick up the hit points, and then he took the kill to finish them off. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 6. And on top of all that, he got a Halonen's medal. That's killing 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers in a tank destroyer, and they have to be at least 2 tier higher than his own. 2 tiers higher. Yes, and he did it. Brilliant. And his win rate, 7,761, which is super unicum and a lot more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, that's amazing. He got the highest damage in the game, 4,887. Didn't pick up a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. But wow, he did perform exceptionally well. The second highest damage turned out to be the Super Conqueror on their team, followed by the XM66F on the enemy team, who got 3,819 hit points. And he also got a Halonen's medal out of that game because he was hitting tanks that were 2 tiers higher than his own. So both of those targets that he took out were probably tier 10 tanks. The third highest damage in the game turned out to be the TVP T5051 on the enemy team, and he managed to get 3,712 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, yep, he shared the top spot here with the Striv. They both got 4 kills each. 3 kills went to the Super Conqueror on his team, and also to the 60 TP on the enemy team, who did cross the hill, join the XM66F to try and bolster their attack, but they probably both should have come in at the same time, because of course the XM is a bit slow, and the 60 TP, if he'd actually been facing us towards us, it would have presented a much more heavy target to actually hit, and it would have been more dangerous for them, or dangerous for us rather. And when it came to third place, we can say that the XM66F got that one because he got 2 kills out of the game. When it came to base XP, yeah, he's got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,425 base out of that one. 1,058 went to the Object 705. 1,034 went to the Striv S1 on his team as well. His platoon mate in the ELC, well, he got 407 hit points of damage, but he did get a nice hefty base XP, and I think that's down to the fact that he did a lot of spotting, 2,908 hit points of spotting in that game, so he did well. Even though it's a win rate of only 672, he definitely deserved those credits because, of course, he did a lot of work as well, trying to creep up on the enemy, bit slowly from the middle of the bush all the way up into the enemy area. Unfortunately, he did get spotted in the end by the TVP, who was up on the hill and taken out from there. So that's the end of the results. Let's have a look at details. 25 shots fired. So remember, I said only has 30 rounds. He only had 5 rounds left at the end of the game, and he was using the heat rounds. But in fact, it's a good thing that he was using the heat rounds because he did have to hit a 60 TP and that XM66F. So yes, it's good that the shells actually had the power to go through their armor. 14 direct hits on the enemy, 12 penetrations, 4,887 hit points of damage, of which 3,414 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see long-range sniper, but he did have some close targets to hit, and he did hit them at the right moment. That TVP, taking it down to just 8, or was it 9 hit points at the close-in point with the Striv, almost guaranteed that if that guy poked his head up, he was either going to get it blown off by him or by the Striv. And that's why he shared the top spot with the Striv on kills. 10 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and he got 97 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium account, he actually made a profit of 110,203 credits in that game. And he also took away 11,972 experience points, including a whopping great 8,552 for a mission completion. So a very good game there by BertholomaeusRexodus. Yes, it's a bit of a mouthful name, actually, isn't it? BertholomaeusRexodus. BertholomaeusRexodus, get it right. Yes, but it is that was an extremely worthwhile game, and they did exactly the right thing. They stayed hidden to make it very, very difficult for the enemy to approach them without getting nailed. And in the end, it was just a matter of finishing off that last enemy, who happened to be in a rather awkward situation just the other side of the houses when BertholomaeusRexodus came round the corner and said, "Oh, I can see you now," and could take him out. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.